Digging Deeper Without the Coldface, the podcast that shares the incredible stories of the talented and passionate people in our industry. And it's now time for this week's episode of Digging Deeper Without the Coalface. And it's brought to you by the Australian Coal Preparation Society Biannual Conference and Exhibition returns to the Hunter Valley in March 2026. Professionals from across the mining, metallurgy and processing sectors will come together to share knowledge, explore cutting-edge technologies and shape the future of coal preparation. Registration's available now, so don't miss out. It's your host, Jessica Rouse.
Brock Mendyk is Hunter Valley born and raised. He worked in mining for 6.5 years before he made a huge life change of jobs, change of careers, moved to a different town. He joins us for this episode of Digging Deeper. Brock, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Jess. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Getting countdown certainly onto the end of the year, let me tell you.
I'm feeling you there.
Now, let's talk about Brock's start in life. Hunter Valley, born and raised. Tell me about growing up in the Hunter.
Yeah, so born and raised in Maitland. Obviously done all my schooling there. I left school and done a trade in boilermaking.
Yeah.
I stuck with that for a further 2 years, and then I moved out to Bulga coal and done a operating traineeship.
Yeah, cool.
In mining, so yeah.
Yeah. Was the mining something you wanted to do, or it's just kind of where the trade took you?
No, yeah, it's something I wanted to do for sure. I was, guess, at a point where I wanted a bit of change, and I had a really good mate of mine, Jai Brook, out there, and he was raving about it. And he's like, you got to come. And then, yeah, I made the decision to try and get a job out there, and it was one of the best decisions I've made. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. There's something, you grew up in Maitland and the Hunter Valley, and mining's always there. It just seems like a rite of passage, I guess.
It is, yeah. It was a great part of life.
What was it like out on site?
It was good. It was a bit of a change because I'd only been in small businesses before. Yeah. And then you go out into a mine site and you've got 100 plus people on your crew, and yeah, it was pretty wild to start with. Took a little bit to get used to, but I feel like I just, fell into it. I made great connections. Everyone was helpful, and yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. And you certainly made some pretty strong connections with people out there. I mean, was it Jai that you started a small business with at some stage?
Yeah, Jai, yeah. I've known him since we were in primary school.
Oh, there you go.
We've been, best friends for a long time, and it was definitely funny. We made a bit of an impact out there. I mean, we'd carpool on the way to work, and we'd have the music up blaring, like pumping up, and we rock up and everyone looks at us as if like, who are these blokes? But it's what you make of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's so cool. There's so many interesting people on site. I mean, obviously I know Jai as well, having spoken to him about his latest side hustle, Nightwork Nutrition. And you just all create like such a strong bond with each other out there. I guess you're spending so much time with each other.
Mm. And that's it. And like another one that was part of our little crew was Lachlan Crombie. He was a big part of why my experience was so good out there. And we're just like this little trio, and go out, have fun, try and pick up the banner, the energy, and create a good culture out there. Because especially when you're doing shifts like that, you're spending at least half your life, if not more, out there. So you got to have that environment that you wake up each day and you are keen to go out there.
And for anyone locally in the Hunter Valley, they would probably have heard of your personal life story, which I'm also obviously know quite a lot about. Take me through that for anyone who may not know, and where that sort of fit in the timeline of you working out there.
So it all started, the year I got into mining. So 2017, in the May, I started mining, and then in that December, I lost my dad to suicide. It was completely out of the blue. We had no warning, no knowledge that clearly he was struggling with something inside. And yeah, that changed my world, my family's world, and sort of how we seen a new life. And yeah, it was very early on at the beginning of the mining career.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, going through something like that, as you say, your whole life turns upside down. Having that bond with Jai and with Lockie would have helped you, I guess, through that.
Yeah. The whole mine as a whole helped me, I feel, because as soon as it happened, they told me take as long off as you want. They were going to pay me. I was still a trainee, so I wasn't even employed by the mine at that time. The whole crew put around a hat and raised money to help go towards the funeral costs and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit easier for myself and my family. And I think even with not knowing how to handle it or get through it, having that sort of, you know, group and camaraderie with the other blokes, like losing a father figure, it's like all your direction just got stripped away from you. And you didn't have that role model that you looked up to, but they sort of, you know, took me in and kept me, I guess, yeah, as best as I could be. And I mean, I feel like it was perfectly in alignment that I was out there at Bulga at the time, because, you know, if I wasn't around all those people, it would have, yeah, it could have been completely different.
Yeah, exactly. And then 5 months later, tragedy again.
Yeah, 5 months later, we lost my sister to suicide as well. She was, very close with Dad. And after it, she had obviously her ups and downs, and I did have a big chat with her and try and, you know, make sure that she was doing okay, and it wasn't to the extent of, I guess, where Dad got to. And she did actually promise me that she was, not at that point. But looking back in hindsight, if I was to be honest now, I don't think I believed her saying that. And I think it honestly got to a point where she couldn't live without her dad anymore.
Yeah. It's such a massive thing to take on, you know, going through that and trying to be there for your sister, which you were. And then, I mean, I don't know how, we talk about mental health all the time, you know, particularly in the industry and outside of it, and how to be there for people, check in, make sure they're okay. And I guess none of us, I don't think, can really understand what it's like to be chatting to someone and to have someone who's going through something like that until we're actually smack bang in the situation.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, I mean, how did you navigate life after that? I mean, two of your closest circle.
To be honest, it didn't, I don't think, actually kick in for a while. Like it was just this weird time of life where I think, like, you felt numb, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
You know, you had people coming in and out of the house. You had the funerals. Like, our family wasn't our family anymore. It just didn't feel the same. And I guess what I did for a long time probably, which looking back might not have been the smartest thing, but I was trying to put everyone else before me, make sure Mum was okay, brothers, like all that. But if there's one thing I have learnt out of all that situation, is you've got to feel it yourself to heal it. Yeah. Can't deflect. You've got to actually, you know, be honest with yourself that you are in a position that isn't like great, and get honest with yourself, and you've got to do the work for you as well. Still look after everyone else, but if you keep worrying about everyone else and not yourself, for one, you can't show up the best for them, but then you might start going down a bit of a spiral.
And I guess in a sense you used your experience to try and, that doesn't sound very good, used your experience, but you use what you went through to put a powerful message into a clothing brand.
Yeah. So
spread that message.
Yeah, me and Jai Dorset, he was another good mate of ours. We started a clothing brand called Aftermath, and it was basically trying to inspire other people and have the story behind the brand of no matter what happens in life, how dark it can get, if you surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And there's always light at the end of the tunnel if you want there to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's so incredible that you, after being through such a tragedy, that you wanted to spread that message to everybody else. I mean, I can't imagine going through something and then going, all right, I'm going to use this to inspire everybody else to make sure no one knows that everyone knows that they're not alone.
There's something that I took away from it as well, I guess. It's like the situations happen, and I feel like the key takeaway I got is you've got two choices. So you can, I guess, stay in the victim mindset where you let it determine your whole life in a negative, or you can kind of use that situation to find purpose, and it fuels you to do something bigger than yourself. Because I can't change what's happened to me or my family, but by raising awareness, talking about it, and trying to create like these little movements and stuff like that, it could spark something in someone that is in that position mentally, and they can see the post effects, and it might save a life. And I mean, it has. We done some talks at Liddell Coal Mine, me and Mum, and we had old men come up to us in tears saying that they were thinking about, going that way, and now we've kind of shown them what is actually left behind with that split decision, and they couldn't thank us enough.
That's awesome. I honestly think it's grassroots movements like the one that you started, like the one your mum's doing now, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, that are making the difference on the ground. I mean, no disrespect to those big organisations, Lifeline, You're Beyond Blue. They're definitely a key part of all of this, but it's those grassroots things that I think are making a genuine difference at the moment when it comes to our mental health.
It's got the emotion in it too. Like, I feel like obviously, like knowing statistics and stuff like that, it does help people, but it's when you get the lived stories, like the experiences come in and you can see the room. It's a different vibe from the room. Instead of like going over, numbers on the board, you're hearing a real life story, and it's connecting to them like internally and emotionally. And it makes, I feel, a bigger difference.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to talk about what you're doing now. You were in mining for a bit longer, obviously. What was the catalyst for you to leave and decide to change up what you were doing?
To be honest, life overall, I kind of felt like I got to a point where I was drifting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had this feeling inside that my path was meant to be different, and especially through my story and how I've overcome the adversity to now where I am. I knew there was something else, and I guess I did slightly go down a little spiral. Nothing, horrific, but I was sort of drinking and stuff like that, just developing habits that I didn't feel aligned with the person I was meant to become. So I made the decision to move down to Wollongong, where my younger brother was, and go all in on the personal development journey. And at the start, I was going back and forth, but I didn't have that consistency, and I wanted to try and build my life. So, each day wasn't just about work. I could get up, go to the beach, have a coffee, go to work, and chase something that was aligned with my purpose, and I could have like more of an impact on people's lives, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. How long did it take you to settle into going, okay, I'm realigning what I'm doing, I'm finding my purpose? It's a massive thing to undertake.
Yeah, well, honestly, when I first moved here, I wasn't exactly sure what it looked like. I just had complete trust in myself that I was going to find the way. I probably had close to 6 months off in transition.
Yeah.
So to start off with, I went over to Bali and I done a retreat that was really good. It was all about like finding your values, ice baths, saunas, doing like internal work. And that definitely had one of the biggest impacts, I reckon, in my life.
Yeah.
And then, I'm currently doing work within the NDIS with people with disabilities, casually for a company, and then also my own company that I've got private clients with. Yeah, so Growth Aid, it's doing disability support.
Yeah.
And I take clients out through the day, get them out. I try and get them active and, stimulate them.
Yeah.
Because, these days a lot of people are inside on the screens, and I feel like one of the biggest keys to being in control of your mental health is being out, especially in the sun, or, moving your body and active.
Exactly. I love following you on social media. I was looking at one of the videos you put up, I think it was yesterday, talking about, your core values.
Yeah.
That's obviously something that's very important to you.
It is, because I never knew I've heard about them, but I wasn't sure, what they were. And when you actually figure out what your core values are and you start building your life around that, there's none of this like, oh, I've got to go to work tomorrow, or this doesn't feel right. It's like everything starts to fall in place. And with finding my values, as I was saying before, I knew there was something else that I was meant to do and I wasn't sure what it was. And it come to me, and this year, I started studying practitioner of life coaching.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with who I am, my purpose and what I've been through, personal development coaching is definitely something that I want to go down.
Yeah.
And I've been working on my own 5-step framework, which I've analysed where I've come from with first facing the adversity to living empowered now. And I've created my own method, which I'm going to do with people, and called the Grace Method. You might have seen that on socials. I'm slowly starting to reveal it, but I feel like it's definitely going to change people's lives, and I know it works because I did it.
Exactly. I feel like we're moving into a space where once upon a time people would have scoffed or laughed at the effects of going and doing an ice bath and talking to a life coach and things like that. I feel like we're moving into a space where people are realising, well, hey, actually, it's actually will make a huge difference and be so beneficial for me to do these things.
It is, because, like I have seen a coach myself, and it's getting a perspective of someone else as well. Like, we all get stuck in our heads so much these days, and like I might think, oh, this is good, right? Oh yeah, I'm going down the right path. And then I do work with the coach that I was working with, and she goes, how about you look at it like this, this and this? And I'm like, didn't even think of that. And then it works out 10 times better. Plus you do learn like different tools and stuff to be able to coach people like through the training I'm doing as well, because I didn't just want to, create my own method and just do coaching off lived experience. I wanted to learn more tools and be like officially certified as well in that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
What are some of the things that you have implemented in your day-to-day to align with your values, the basic stuff that you would suggest to anyone?
Structure is a big thing. So right now I've got a really good, it sounds cliche, but morning routine. Yeah. So I've got it set for what I want and what works best for me. And I go to bed each night like actually excited, to get up and go. And it's simple stuff. It's getting up at roughly 4:30, getting to the gym by 5, training. And then I come home and I do some of this coaching stuff on my computer before I actually head to work. And that's been a very big benefit for me.
Yeah.
But core values is definitely one, doing the work and finding them.
Yeah.
And I guess environment is a really big thing, I believe, for me. Surrounding yourself with people that are sort of going the same direction as you, because you know what they say, like if you're around people that, are having a negative impact on you or try and pull you down, like it's going to put a massive speed hump in where you're trying to go.
Obviously, alcohol is a big one. I can certainly put my hand up and say that I've had an awful lot of alcohol over the last year. Is that something that you have focused on, like either not having it or limiting it? Because obviously it has negative effects in many cases.
Yeah, so this year, actually, I created a goal to go 6 months without even having any. And that goal now has almost reached a year.
Yeah.
Because by limiting alcohol, I feel like it has a positive effect on every other part of your life.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, if I started feeling like I was, maybe going in a little spiral or just feeling bad within myself, it was always after I'd have a night out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun at the time, but when you're, not feeling yourself for 3-4 days after, and all your other plans and the better version of yourself gets put on hold, to me, it's not worth it. And as I said, I just wanted to do 6 months because I had all these different plans this year.
Yeah.
And I've kind of got no reason to go back for now. Not saying I'll never have a drink again, because I mean, it is fun, but right now I really like the person I am without having any at all, and like things are just falling into place a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, by its nature, isn't alcohol technically a depressant?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get a high when you're doing it on the night, but then it leads to feeling bad in the morning, having bad food, not going to the gym, staying inside, not getting out and about.
That's it. I think we said it when we were chatting before the podcast. I think you're the perfect person to be a life coach. People are going to listen to someone who's actually been through adversity and been through something and is putting practically into action what they're yapping about.
Yeah, and I guess that's where so much passion comes from for this space for me, and I do believe people are going to see that, because I guess I'm not someone that's just learnt different things and then, come and teaching people through a book. Like the stuff that I'm telling people to do and preaching, like I'm actually doing it myself, and that's why I'm so confident in that it'll work for other people. And basically the person that I'll be coaching is Brock back in 2018, when he was, feeling lost, lack of direction, lack of purpose, got put this big adversity in front of him. And now I'm trying to help as many people in that position get to where I am now. Even though I went through that big tragedy and adversity, I've, can say that I'm living the most empowered I ever have now, and found purpose and fuel through that.
Do you think we're getting, obviously there's so much out there, so much funding, so many programs about mental health and looking after ourselves and all that sort of jazz. Do you think we're genuinely getting better at it as a society? Like, do you think we're moving into a place where we will hopefully see that rate of suicide drop, our mental health be better than it is?
I do actually, because I feel like there's a bit of a culture shift happening. Like all the, like, for example, drinking and like the partying and all that sort of stuff. You see a lot more now of like these run clubs and people getting up, training together, having coffees, like all that sort of thing. And even in like professional sport, like you used to have all the football players and stuff, like they'd go have like nights where they'd get on the drink and stuff like that. And you hear about it all the time on podcasts there. yeah, all the young ones, they're not doing that now. They're focusing on their recovery, their training, and their diet and nutrition.
It's so awesome to see. I thought it would take a whole generation to see this stuff actually be practically happening.
And food is a big one, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Trying to find what works for you nutrition wise, because I truly believe, and I know it happens for me, if you're eating consistently good food, you're feeling great. And
exactly.
you have a, naughty, unhealthy meal, and my mood goes from bubbly to just want to do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. It's all those little things that make such a huge difference. That morning routine, eating well, getting enough sleep, all of that has such a huge impact on how you're feeling on the inside.
Yeah. And when you do have that structure in place, like for anyone that is, feeling a little bit down and lost, once you start following the structure, that builds discipline. And when you've got discipline, you get trust within yourself, which leads to the self-confidence and, feeling really good.
Yeah, exactly. We mentioned all the grassroots things that are happening in the mental health space. And I do want to touch on your mum has You Matter awareness, which I am also involved in. But I think that's doing great things. I mean, the fact that your mum has been able to pull herself out of where she was after what happened to now helping so many people, I think, from looking on the outside is incredible. Take me through how she's doing and how that came about.
Yeah, so I guess with everything that happened, she's very similar to me. Like, instead of trying to, I guess, stay stuck in the dumps and stuff like that, she wanted to share her story and try and help other people and make other families not have to go through it. And she created You Matter awareness, which it's a movement. Like, she runs all the yearly walks that go overnight. Yeah. She's done fundraisers, like they're now getting safe spaces around Maitland. And she was actually in one of the movies that came out, The Promise, and sharing her story, which how many people are going to see that? So she's just, really trying to help everyone as well and not have other people go through what we have.
Yeah. You mentioned the word movement, and I think that's what exactly describes what's happening. There is a movement happening for all of us to better ourselves and be better.
Yeah, definitely. And she's doing great things, and it's going to go far.
Yeah, definitely. What are your goals? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years, I would like this coaching to... Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of variables that can happen between now and 5 years. But ideally, the coaching to pick up and, grow, help and impact a lot of people through my story, what I've learnt, and also inspire through my daily actions. I can see myself having, a family and being the role model for them. And basically just leaving my own unique mark and, I guess, bettering myself each day and impacting other people along the way.
Yeah, exactly. What's a piece of advice, something someone could do any day if they're feeling crap? What's something you want to leave people with to think about?
They need to, as I said, be honest with themselves and reach out for support for one, but get outdoors and go for a walk. Something so small can, change your mind very quickly. And as I say, it's movement and what you put in your body. It's the two biggest, key starting anchors, I believe. And just be around people that uplift you and have that positive energy, because you want that positive vibration to, go through you as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think you are going to do great things, Brock. I mean, you already have, but I think life coaching is the perfect bloody fit for you.
Yeah, it feels right. And as I said, I've had this voice within me, like telling me there was this other path, and I had to work out what it was. But I feel like everything's starting to align up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wake up each day excited, happy, and I definitely feel aligned.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go and follow Brock on Instagram because you'll feel inspired just by going for a scroll, I promise. Mate, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. It certainly won't be the last time.
My pleasure. And yeah, it's been great speaking with you, Jess.
Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Digging Deeper with At The Coalface. You can download more episodes of the podcast on all your favourite podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on YouTube, Amazon Music, all the usual places. Make sure you leave us a rating and a review. We'd love to hear what you thought. And if you do have a story idea or something you'd like us to talk about on the podcast, please send me an email, jess@thecoalface.net.au. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back next time for another episode of Digging Deeper with At The Coalface.